Hello everyone, my name is Noah Raven and welcome to the Xander Zone. In today's episode, we'll be discussing what Rockstar MCI is, its story, and if it's possible to be in the story of FNAF. Now, as always, I will explain how we will be explaining this video in terms of its sections. Though before I do that, if you haven't watched the first part to this video covering Molten MCI, I'd recommend going to watch it after this video, as not only will it help with this video, but it's also a part of the series in which we'll be determining if Molten MCI, Rockstar MCI, or other versions are canon. Anyways, we'll first cover what Rockstar MCI is, then what Remnant is, then its evidence, and after this, we will discuss its issues, and lastly its story. Now, as always, if you enjoyed this video, please do hit that like and subscribe button, as we have a goal of 4,000 subs by the end of the month. While you're at it, comment down below your thoughts, theories, disagreements, or really anything. Just remember to keep it kind, calm, and respectful. Lastly, share this video with your friends and family as every bit helps, and without further ado, let's get right into the video. Okay, so what is Rockstar MCI? Rockstar MCI is a theory that the FNAF 1 animatronics, mainly being their Remnant, was used in the making of the Rockstar animatronics that we see in Pizzeria Simulator. Now, where does this theory come from? Well, it completely stems from this unused fast fact in FNAF AR, in which one of the fast facts is that Rockstar Bonnie used FNAF 1's Bonnie's parts to build Rockstar Bonnie. Now, typically something unused can't be used for lore, right? Well, not in this case, as it was confirmed that the emails and a couple other things can be used in FNAF lore, and well, why can't we use this? So, after this, the theory sprawled out in looking into evidence of the Rockstars being possessed. One of these points being the Rockstars, typically Foxy to my knowledge, do indeed have a risk level associated with them at all times in Pizzeria Simulator. Then there's the fact that they do indeed attack you in Ultimate Custom Night as well. As this isn't huge amounts of evidence, it is interesting that they are there. Though, that's essentially what Rockstar MCI is. So before we really delve deep into this, what is Remnant? Well, let's get into it. Okay, so let's get into what Remnant is. Remnant is essentially when a soul which typically binds itself with metal is later melted down very carefully into like a mercury-like consistency, which can later be used to be injected into other objects, which in the FNAF universe is typically an animatronic. We know this based off of Pizza Sim's blueprint of the Scooper, or SCUP for short, which means Scalable Creation of Ulterior Presence. As you can see, the scoop is used to excavate an animatronic, but mainly used to inject Remnant into objects, and the way this is obtained is by heating Remnant at sustained temperature to make it malleable. If it's overheated, the effects of Remnant may be neutralized forever, with it basically now just being melted metal and nothing else. So, once it has no motion by the human eye, it's at the right temperature. Though, once this is achieved, the Remnant is lined on the interior of the scoop and is used to inject Remnant into something. However, as it states, too much of this Remnant being injected can negate its effect. I mean, too much Remnant can lead to no Remnant as well. Though, that's all we really know about Remnant as this video comes out, as it always changes from story to story and we always learn new things about it. So, yeah, let's get into the next section. Okay, so let's get into the evidence for Rockstar MCI. So first, we of course have this email which sparked the whole theory. This states that Rockstar Bonnie uses parts of the original Bonnie in use of Fazbear Entertainment franchises. So this at least confirms that there's a solid chance that at the very least, Rockstar Bonnie has Bonnie's Remnant. Next piece of evidence again is the risk levels of the Rockstars, typically being 1, but can be higher by chance. Now this is interesting as almost every item, except you Lefty, has a chance to be risk-free or have some risk. It's typically random, but the Rockstars always have risk with them. So this could possibly showing us that there's more to the Rockstars than meets the eyes. Next piece of evidence is their designs. We know that Henry has designed animatronics with hinges or these metal bars, and the Rockstars have these metal bars or hinges, possibly implying that Henry made the Rockstars. Next piece of evidence is their appearance in Ultimate Custom Night. Now with Ultimate Custom Night, this one is always a grand salt, as Ultimate Custom Night is something that happens in William's mind and not an actual physical event, just a mental one. However, their voice lines are interesting. Rockstar Bonnie sings to you and says, "Nice to see you again."
So good to see you again.
Which can imply Rockstar Bonnie, or the Remnant inside of him, has seen William at some point, with Rockstar Chica also saying, "You can't trick this old bird."
That'll teach you for trying to trick this old bird.
Though these should be taken with a grain of salt. Next is Help Wanted 1's entered vent repair level. there are 4 animatronics in the furnace at the end. And you're probably wondering, Raven, what are you talking about? This is evidence for Molten MCI, not Rockstar MCI. And you'd be correct. However, I don't know if this was just design or not, so take it with a grain of salt, but someone did sort out the parts to 4 specific animatronics. However, they're missing endo parts. So this could mean that some parts went to the Remnant infusion to Ennard, and the others to the Rockstars. Just an interesting idea, but evidence to me nonetheless. Last piece of evidence is Scrap Chica. Now, a lot of you are going to say, but Scrap Chica wasn't used in Pizzeria Simulator, and that is my point. What if Scrap Chica wasn't used in Pizzeria Simulator because Chica's parts went to Rockstar Chica? Last point of evidence is the Fun Times being possessed. The Fun Times do unalive kids on their own free time, so if they're already possessed, then this is more evidence for the MCI to be in the Rockstars. However, that's all the evidence that I have, so let's get into the issues of Rockstar MCI. Okay, so let's get into the issues for Rockstar MCI. First off, we have Molten MCI. Now, if you haven't watched that episode, I'd recommend it as it's an in-depth analysis to Molten MCI. However, for a swift explanation, Molten MCI is essentially the theory that the Remnant from the 1985 was put into the Fun Times. So the issue being, if the Remnant is used up already by, in this case, Pizzeria Simulator, Molten Freddy, how could the Rockstars be possessed, assuming Molten MCI is canon? Next issue is if the other Rockstars, being Rockstar Freddy, Chica, and Foxy, were also made using parts from the FNAF 1 animatronics. We don't have any proof or say of this in any of the games or books. So yes, as we do have confirmation that Rockstar Bonnie did use his FNAF 1 counterpart, that's all we really have confirmation for. Nothing else. The biggest issue of all is their appearances. We don't really hear about them or see them past Pizzeria Simulator, except for this one mention in FNAF AR to my knowledge. So as there is evidence for Rockstar MCI, we almost never hear or see of it ever again in any way past FNAF AR. So as something that is so important, why hasn't it been brought up in the future like Molten MCI and Help Wanted 1? Otherwise, I can't think of any other issues since there's so little that is known about Rockstar MCI in terms of its story compared to Molten MCI. Okay, so let's get into the story of Rockstar MCI, assuming it is canon. Now remember, this uses evidence we have for it while taking into consideration possible issues, so take this story with a grain of salt. The beginning of this is going to sound similar to Molten MCI, and the reason for this is because it's what makes sense to me. Otherwise, let's get into it. After Michael was sent to the FNAF 2 location to get Remnant from the toy and withered animatronics failed, Michael confronted his father William about the suits being possibly possessed, and William denied this. Michael believed what his father said, however, he wanted to do some more investigating, but there were no more locations. That is until 1993, when the old withered animatronics were used for the new animatronics at this location. Michael took the night shift, and he definitely got his answers and confronted William on this. William admitted to knowing that they were possessed, but not that he is the one who caused it, but rather was trying to help them. He sent Michael into the Cis-location bunker to see his sister Elizabeth to get the truth, and to help her, and thanked him for finding the other possessed animatronics. But in reality, William was furious that Michael found out the truth, and wanted Michael to be unalived by the Fun Times, while William would go to the FNAF 1 location to round up the endos of the animatronics, to be melted down and injected into the Fun Times. William did accomplish this night by night and would put them in the furnace. William went back one last time, however, William wouldn't be coming back home due to being spring locked. Michael was doing his shifts night by night like he was supposed to. However, on night 5, Michael was scooped by Ennard, unaliving him for the time being, while Ennard used Michael as a suit. Later, Ennard left Michael's body, and Michael was resurrected due to possible healing properties of Remnant or there being too much Remnant, as a result of the Fun Times being possessed from their previous victims. However, the night that William was spring-locked, the endos that were put in the furnace to be melted down carefully were melted down recklessly by a technician that was there to fix the heat. So the Fun Times were injected with soulless Remnant, just metal and nothing more. However, some parts were left behind as a result of William not finishing his job of grabbing all the parts. Harry went looking for William and arrived at this location and only found the remaining parts of the original animatronics. Henry hasn't worked on any animatronics for years at this point, but he knew that he had to free any potential remnant that could be left in these parts. So he made new suits, using the old parts from the FNAF 1 animatronics. These new versions would be Rockstar Freddy, Rockstar Bonnie, Rockstar Chica, and Rockstar Foxy. Henry eventually opened a location to try to end everything and free every possible soul, but needs someone to help him to round up the more dangerous animatronics, while he handled the safer side of things. Michael applied to this location and got the job, and night by night he brought in Molten Freddy, Lefty, Afton, and Scrap Baby, with Henry getting the Rockstars, Funtime Chica, and more to release any potential remnant in these animatronics. At the end of the week, Henry and Michael burned the whole place down, releasing the remnant from the animatronics, as well as ending the lives of Henry, Emily, and Michael Afton, putting an end to the ores that William and Henry had created so many years ago. Okay, so let me get into the issues with this story. First is when Henry would have gotten his hands on the Rockstars, or the original animatronic parts. All we know for certain is that if Rockstar MCI does happen, then the Rockstars had to have been in possession of Henry at some point. Next is what happens to the endos in the furnace. We know that they were in there, most likely to be melted down and put into the fun times, but we don't know if there was too much heat to cancel out any remnant. Next is their designs. We do know Henry does design animatronics that look like the Rockstars, however, we don't have any evidence that Henry worked on them, or if he did, what his intentions were with them. Though I'd say odds are that they are likely that he made them at the very least. Otherwise, I can't think of any other issues, though if I missed any, please let me know in the comments down below. Just remember to keep everything kind, calm, and respectful. Though without further ado, let's get right into my final thoughts. Okay, I'd give this theory a 7 out of 10. I do like this theory, and I feel I was able to come up with some pretty good points, however some of them are what-ifs, such as the Remnant's power being lost and some other aspects of that. Though, I also do think they're good at the end of the day. I also want Rockstar MCI to be canon, but I also want Molten MCI to be canon. So we'll have to see what happens in the future FNAF to maybe one day get our full answer. But for a long time, we're going to have to wait to see what happens. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and share your theories while you're at it. Just remember to keep it kind, calm, and respectful. Okay, and that is all that I have for this episode. So before I really get into the typical outro stuff, I do want to quickly say that there will be 5 parts maybe to this series. I don't know, I'm still debating on it. A little bit ago I did say that there would only be 4 parts, but I feel there is a 5th part that would help out a lot with the flow of the series. It basically would be Molten MCI, this video, the next video, this potential video, and then the finale. So it would push the finale out by another 2 weeks. And trust me, that finale is going to be so exciting. I am so excited for it. So I really hope you all stay tuned for that, because it's going to be so cool, man. But yeah, another thing I just want to quickly get out of the way is I never promote my social medias, and a lot of you don't even know that I have social medias. So I'm just going to quickly go over them and tell you what I do. So first, I have a Twitch. I live stream. It's typically Dead by Daylight, but I am branching out to other games. I'm going to be starting doing some VR games. I do FNAF occasionally, and sometimes just random games, such as like Watch Dogs 2 and other stuff. Just play whatever comes to mind, really. And hopefully sometime in the near future, I'll be able to just do other things like just chatting or things like that, where we can just hang out. So yeah, next thing, Discord. I have a Discord called the Xander Zone. And it's a server where you can get news about FNAF, Poppy Playtime, Bending the Ink Machine, Dead by Daylight, and more. You can post really anything in there. I mean, we have our own chats for everything. It's also where you can get notifications for things, as well as sneak peeks into future projects. There's so much stuff that you can do there. You can post food, your pets, absolutely everything. Art, fan art, absolutely everything. You can post it there. Last thing that I have that I really use a lot is Twitter. It's always the same. It's NarrowRaven. And I just post, when new videos come out, when I'm live, as well as just random things that I think of or think is kind of funny or whatever, just once in a blue moon. I do have a TikTok. I'm kind of slowing down on using TikTok a little bit because there's like always so much going on with me having to make these videos and live stream stuff that I don't have time to go into my live streams to clip things, edit them, and stuff like that on this potato laptop that I currently have. So in the future, I will be using TikTok a little more, but as of right now, I'm kind of, every now and then I post stuff on there, but it's not very consistent. And yeah, that's pretty much everything that I really use a lot. If you ever want to get in contact with me, Discord and emailing me is a great idea to do that. So if anyone ever wants to do collaborations or anything, there you go. Discord or email is typically the best place to do that. So yeah, that's really all that I have for this episode. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please do hit that like, subscribe button, as we do have a goal of, I don't even remember what I said at the beginning of this video, so I'm just going to throw a random number out there. Let's go for 3,000 subs by the end of the month. While you're at it, comment down below really anything in the whole wide world, your own theories, comments, disagreements, absolutely anything in the whole wide world. I mean, it could literally just be you saying anything random, and who knows, you might get a respond. I'll do my best to respond to you, but if I don't, I will do my best to get to you in the future. So yeah, make sure to just keep those things kind, calm, and respectful. And lastly, but certainly not least, share this video with your friends and family, as every bit helps. And well, I hope you all enjoyed. Have a great day, stay safe, and peace out. Already by nice Discord.